Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to HR Repair. This is Hey Ray. Today we have a Hummer H3 2006 model, and it has no blower speeds of any kind. There are nothing on high, nothing on any of the others. So we can switch it, nothing, absolutely nothing. So these are operated slightly different than your normal blower motors. A lot of them will use just a blower motor resistor down by the blower motor, but this one has a relay and a blower motor resistor down by the blower motor. So I'm going to show you guys how to test this thing, and let's see if we can figure out what's going on. I have not tested it yet. However, I have gotten my power probe, and we're going to apply ground and power in certain places to see if it works. So come along and we'll show you how this is done. Contact. All right, so hope you guys can see this as good as possible. Oops. All right, so hopefully this is readable here. If I can get this set up here. On these here, it uses the blower motor resistor to receive a signal from our HVAC control module, which is going to be these knobs up here. We have obviously off, low, medium, medium 1, medium 2, and high. So on the high setting, it will apply a ground to your blower motor relay, which is going to be situated right here. This is just a typical 5-prong relay on here. So in the relaxed state, this power or ground coming from G106 is going to come over to probably pin 30 on the relay here, and it's going to just, in the relaxed state, kind of go nowhere. Now, whenever you want high speed, it will apply a ground circuit to the coil side of the relay here, which then it engages the relay, which creates a path for your ground to come up and go into your blower motor here and provide a full 12 volts to your blower motor. So basically they're using the blower motor resistor, but they're using the relay to take the load for the blower motor, but it's also using it's kind of a weird setup, but it's also using our blower motor resistor assembly to create a path for the ground. So I don't know why they do this, but I mean, I know why, but I don't know why you wouldn't just go ahead and just put the ground straight to the blower motor, but whatever. It's the way they wanted to do it. So what I want to do is I want to find pin A here on our blower motor, then I'm going to provide a ground to that, make sure that our blower motor works. So easiest way I've found to do that is through the power probe, and we can get to our blower motor resistor pretty easily down here. And that's going to be, which one of these is it going to be? All right, so it doesn't really matter. Both the oranges, one's going out, one's going in. So go ahead and see, will this, oh, maybe we'd better turn our ignition on. All right. So neither one works. Okay, nothing. All right, so do we have a blowing fuse? Because we should also have a fuse up here that comes, excuse me guys, comes from up here after your HVAC relay. So in the underhood fuse block, we need to check fuse number 82 and see if we have any blowing fuses up here. So since we don't have any response here, let's see if we can, let's see if we can get, because we do have ground. So somewhere we aren't getting power down to our blower motor, or we have a bad connection up to our motor here. So let's see if I can back probe that connector right there. That's going to be a lot more difficult to get to up in there. See if we've got power. I do smell a little bit of electrical, burnt electrical, so I might wonder if we have a lack of power up to our blower motor here. So let's see if I can unplug this thing. I'd like to do it with it plugged in, but I can't get to that side of it, so let's just see if I can unplug it. Oh my, let me get that unplugged and I'll be right back. Alright, so the other way, I just happen to think I could check it, is at the relay. So our relay should have power to the one side of the coil, so let's check for power, and it should be on the brown wire, which is gonna be this one right here, and there is no power. There we go. Okay, so somewhere we're missing our power. Is it up here at the fuse? What do we have? And if we do have a blowing fuse, why do we have a blowing fuse? Okay, so what did I say that fuse number was? 82. So we need to check fuse 82 and fuse 59. So 82 is going to be this one. It's going to be right up here. That one looks okay. Okay, what about fuse 59? Where is fuse 59? 59 is going to be right there. Okay, well, that one's good. Now, the other way that we could be getting a loss of power, we have an HVAC relay 87. Let's check the relay 87, which is going to be this one right here. Now, what I want to know is, are we requesting, well, one of the easiest things to do is to switch it out with another relay. So what do we have here? There are the relays. Switch these relays out here. Oh, come on. Boy, these things pull hard. Still nothing. Okay, so we know it's not the relay. Well, guess that was not what I was expecting to see. Somewhere we're probably losing voltage. Could we be losing voltage? Let's check fuse number 13 as well, because we could be losing voltage there. So 13 is going to be this one right here. Let me get my meter. Okay, put it on for ohms. I know you guys have a hard time seeing this, but okay, tested our meter. Fuse is good. Alright, so the next question I have is, do we have power up to fuse 13? We should have, so I'm going to check it with my... Yep, we do. Yep, okay. Well, let's go ahead and pull 82 and see. Maybe this fuse is not actually working, but it looks good, but it's not working. So let's go ahead and pull that fuse out of there. These things are a pain. They look good. Okay, so we should have power up to here, one of these. And we do. Okay, let's check the fuse here. Fuse does test good. I'm gonna put a new one in just to be on the safe side. Okay, yep, that didn't make a difference. All right, So I didn't figure it would, but you know, just so we know. Okay, so we know our relay is working because if you look here, we have battery positive coming in, and our relay is sending power down through here to the blower motor. So we need to check, which I did check power. We don't have power down to the relay here, so we should have power to one side of the coil. We don't. We could also go ahead and check the blower motor, but I'm pretty sure we're not going to have any power to either one of those because we applied power, and when we applied power to here, we had a blower motor that worked. Now, what I'm questioning is if I apply power there again, will our blower motor have variable speeds? Because technically it should have, right? Because yeah. Alright, so if we remember it was a brown, we should have power to there. Okay, so that works. Now let's go ahead and put it on speed number 2, which is medium 1, and it works. So we know our blower motor resistor works. We know that our problem is we're not getting power down to our relay. So what we need to do is check coming out of our underhood fuse block. We need to check, do we have power coming out of pin number 47? So we're going to start tracing this wire from the fuse block all the way to our blower motor resistor. So somewhere in here, in between here and here, we have a connection problem. So let's get started checking. I might do some of this off camera here. Well, folks, this has escalated pretty quickly. In order to get to the correct connector, for some reason I thought it was this one, but it's actually this one here. This is C1. So if we look into our wiring diagram here, we see that, hopefully you guys can see that. There's C1, and we want voltage coming out of pin 47. So I pulled up the underhood fuse block, connector C1. 47 is going to be this connector here. That's going to be this one right here. And the reason I know it's this one is because I've also come over here and looked into component locations, and we have verified that that is the component location. So C1 is going to be on number 5 here, which is going to be directly down, and it's going to be the one toward the front, not the one beside the battery. So we know we have the right connector. Now, what I want to do is I want to test and make sure, while this fuse block is out of here, I want to test and make sure that our wiring is good into our dash. So what we can see here is that we have, we're supposed to be sending power out on 47, pin 47. It goes through a connector C200, 203, comes down, comes over to our high-speed blower motor relay, and then also down to our blower motor. If you recall before, we had no power down to our blower motor relay here for the high speed, which means that we have no power down to this point. What I want to do now is I want to send power out on pin 47, and I want to make sure that our wiring is good. So I've gotten this together. We're going to go right into pin 47. I've got my power probe here, and we're going to test our pin, voltage to the relay here. We should have voltage to this brown wire, which we do. So the question is, do we have enough to carry a load? So let's get ourselves a light bulb. We'll do the light bulb test. That should be enough to tell us if we have power down to there. So let's get my headlight bulb here, and I'll rig this up. We'll test it out. That sound like a good idea, Hoss? All right. He agrees. All right, so let me get this set up and then I'll bring you guys back. Okay, so I have my ground hooked up to my ground, or the one side of my light hooked up to the ground here on the power probe. So if we come up here and we go right into this relay, I know you guys can't hardly see, neither can I. We should have power enough to light the bulb here, and we do not. So let's just make sure that this bulb is working. Let's send power here to the bulb, and it works. Okay, so we have a wiring problem somewhere in between the fuse block and over there, you know, and in there. So somewhere in this wire here we have a problem. So we're going to do a little bit of checking here, just make sure that there's nothing rubbing anywhere, and I'm going to try and get a hold of these connectors here and see if there's any problem, like a connection problem between C200, C203, and we'll see if we can get this figured out. All right, folks. Well, sometimes we get plain lucky, I think. So I'm going to bring you guys in here. As you can see, if you remember, C200 was the first connector we're going to get to after here. What I did is come underneath here. This is going to be on the driver's side, right up in here. And if I'll bring you guys up here, I hope I can do this justice, but you guys see the connector that I've got unplugged up there? I think you can see that. The problem is I'm gonna have a hard time being able to show you guys and reach up in here, but I'm gonna try and show it to you. Okay, so looky there. Hopefully you guys can see that. We have the green crusties. I'm pretty sure that probably comes from this dreaded sunroof here. The drains, I believe, come over and drain right down through here, and I think that's where that moisture is coming from. So I'm gonna try and clean that up. Hopefully the connector is still good. Hopefully those pins are still good and I can reuse them if I get it cleaned up. I'll be back once I get that cleaned up. All right, between this and this, we have come up with this. So we'll check our pin fitment here. This is going to be our main concern. Oh yeah, it's still got good drag on it. Okay, let's check the one beside it. Yeah, same amount of drag. Okay, I think this should be good. Now, before we do that, I'm going to apply some dielectric grease. And we're not going to put just a ton on there, but enough to keep the moisture out of there so that we don't have this problem again very quickly. It may come eventually, but hopefully not for a while. So let's fill this up, or not fill it up, but apply some dielectric grease, put this back together. All right, folks. Well, for one, I was looking at the wrong wire. That corroded one that I seen was a different wire altogether. Now, it's not wasted time because we had corrosion there that would have caused problems down the road. So we've got that cleaned up, but we were still losing our power. All right. So the other thing that we found is that this is C1, not this one. So I was probing the wrong circuit, and I'm pretty sure I was looking at it on the computer correctly, but here, if we look, C1, connector ID C1 on the fuse block is gray. So it's this one here. Once I back probed that, we were activating the correct wire. So, but we were still dropping voltage every time we plugged in, or every time I plugged in the light, we were still dropping voltage. So what I did is I wanted to make sure that this connector is good. So I back probed the D3 in this connector, which was going to be, I don't know if you guys can see that, it's a brown wire. That was correct. That was good. No problem there. So we weren't dropping voltage there. So I knew that it had to be the next one in line, somewhere in between 200 and 203. 203 is over here behind the glove box. And here is where I'm pretty sure our problem is. See that? We've got a bad connection, and it actually melted the terminals there. Here, let's get this here light on the subject to where you guys can see it here. Okay, see that? That one is going to be damaged beyond repair. So I'll be back as soon as I know what we're going to do, and we'll make sure that this is going to confirm the fix, but I'm pretty sure it will. So this is connector C203, and that one was setting right up on the top side there. This goes down to your blower motor resistor. I'm going to show you what I did here. So GM, in all their wisdom, offer this side of the connector, which is the pigtail harness for our blower motor resistor, and so they do offer that. However, they don't offer this connector here. So I have searched the web for an aftermarket or new old stock or anything, and the only thing I can find is a GM one that is from Australia, and that's no guarantee, and they don't say whether they ship to the US or not. So the customer has decided to let's just go ahead and splice it together like this. Down the road, if we find a connector on this side, that the female connector, can I say that anymore? I'm gonna say it. The female connector, if we find it, we can always order this pigtail harness, because it is available through my distributor. It would be delivered on 2 days, so I should be able to get that pretty easily, but it's this side that I can't get, and if I can't get this side, it doesn't do any good to get this side. So yeah, this should take care of it. So let's close this up and we will test our work. There we go. All right, so now let's test our work. It should work. Okay, and we have air. Yep, all 4 of them work. Awesome. Okay, well, there you have it. He wants some of the other things checked out on this. It's got an ABS light, it's got check engine light. Sometimes it starts hard in the winter time, so we're gonna go ahead and check that out. I don't know if I'll make a video on that. I guess if it's interesting enough and I feel like it needs to be made or we need to make a video, I'll make a video. But if not, then I won't. But we'll make that a completely different video if I do make another video. So yeah, wiring problems sometimes can be extremely time consuming, but just follow your wiring diagrams if you've got them. That's your best option. So I'm gonna quit rambling. This is a confirmed fix, and that's also why you don't want to just throw a blower motor and a blower motor resistor at it. 9 times out of 10, the blower motor and the blower motor resistor are what's wrong. This 1 time out of 10, it was a wiring problem, and this would have burnt me big time. So yeah, always check and make sure that power where you need power and ground where you need ground. So anyway, hope this makes sense, and I'm gonna quit rambling. I want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. It doesn't cost you guys anything, and it helps me out a bunch. Let me know what you think of this repair down in the comments below. I know I didn't show you every step of the way, but I tried to explain things as good as I could. I feel like if I'd bring you guys along and try to show you every step I take, it becomes such a long video and it's hard to follow sometimes. And I could edit a lot of it out, but then it makes a lot of editing for me, and then I'm back to square one again. So anyway, yeah, hopefully this makes sense. Let me know what you think, and I appreciate it. Y'all have yourselves a wonderful day. Thanks for watching. Bye.